Hello, Click Designers! Today I'm super excited to share with you the newest layers feature that we've added here on Click Designs. If you're familiar with Photoshop or you're probably familiar with other more advanced design software, they have something that we call the layers feature, where you are able to see the number of elements that you put on the canvas, and then you're able to organize and rename these elements on your canvas as well. So now, no matter how many designs, images, text, backgrounds, shapes, elements, icons, and illustrations that you have on your canvas, you won't be confused and you will be able to rename them and organize them nicely and correctly, because now we have this layers feature or this layers pane here on your canvas. All you need to do is open a design, start from scratch, or add different elements on your design, or you can use an existing template like what I've done right here, and then I've replaced a number of different images. And since you can see that I have a number of elements on my canvas, it can sometimes get confusing, because if I click, I really don't know sometimes what I am actually moving, just because there are too many and some elements are at the back of each other, right? So all you need to do is click on this layers button right here. This will open up your layers pane. So now that I'm looking at it, I have 40 different layers here on my canvas. And yes, that's a lot. That practically means that I have 40 different elements placed on my canvas. So we have here an image, we have here another image, and another, and so on. So first of all, I have here this image, and this is actually a laptop mock-up. So what I can do is I could click this edit icon right here and rename it into laptop mockup. There you go. So I won't be confused with regards to what image this is. And for the second image, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to do the same thing for the rest. So as you can see, while I am renaming the different elements right here, as I select the layer here on the right, it is also selected on the canvas, so it makes it easier for me to determine what I should name this layer and what element it pertains to. Okay, so now I'm done renaming and labeling all the layers. I've also deleted 3 layers or text that I don't need, or text boxes, and now I am left with all these. As you can see here, I've renamed them so it's easy for me to identify which element is at what layer, and it's easy for me to organize them and to move them back and forth. So, for example, this text box right here, full website, funnel, blog creator, this is something that I don't need. However, if I hover over it, it's actually hidden behind some of the other elements, right? It's quite hard to look for this particular text box. So instead of looking for it and sending the other elements backwards, all I have to do is just look for it here. So if I don't need that, all I have to do is delete that, and now it's gone. Now, I also want to remove some of the arrows. So this is arrow number 5, which is this one. I can delete that. And if I want to remove some other arrows, for example, this one, I can delete that. I will delete arrow number 3. And there you go, now it's deleted. I also want to delete this particular text box because, again, I don't need it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it as well. And then I'm going to delete the other arrows there. The next thing that I would like to do is I would like to make sure these gadgets right here, or these device mockups right here, do not move. So what I'm going to do is I have the option to select that layer, which is the laptop mockup. I will lock that. And also the smartwatch, I will lock that. The tablet, I will lock that. The mobile phone, I will lock that as well. And the monitor, I will lock that as well. So no matter how much I move the backgrounds here, these elements stay in place because they are all locked, and that is the advantage. After I've locked all my devices, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag all these devices together right here on top. so that way it's easier for me to find where they are. Another thing that we could do with our layers is that we could group some elements together and rename them right here. So for example, I'm going to hide this layers pane and I'm going to click this one, this, and this. So basically these are all the navigation menu layers. All I have to do is just select this one here on the left called group and ungroup. And then I could rename this group that appeared on top by making it navigation menu, and I could lock it as well. Aside from that, it's easier for me now to determine what background I want to leave and what background I would like to remove. For example, this one I would like to select the purple background and I don't need it. All I have to do is remove that, and this is how it looks like. I have another background called this one, which is the cloud background, and if I want to stretch that or if I want to half it, then that's how it looks like. If I want to remove some other elements right here that I feel are not needed, all I have to do is just look for it and maybe find that. It's easier for me to move it or remove it completely from my canvas. Given that I removed the upper background right here, now the layer looks different and it looks a little weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this a little bit, and then I could change this into probably a lighter color, that one. So now I think my canvas looks nicer. Then I could get back to layers and I could look for other things here. So let's just say I want this text box right here and I want to change it and put it here. It's easier. And now this is how my canvas looks like. I think it looks neater. I think it looks nicer. There's not too much going on. I've locked the elements that I like. No matter how many shapes, icons, devices, backgrounds I place, now it is more organized because I have everything in layers. Plus, I can create many groups as much as I want, rename the groups, organize them according to how I want them to appear, and see them visibly not only here on my canvas, but know the arrangement of each element here on my layers pane. We can't wait for you to use our newest layers feature here on Click Design, so go ahead, get started, and happy click designing.